Coming to you from the Endless Library, where every book is read and every spoiler discussed. Join us as we dig into the lives of fictional people who cannot defend themselves.
Good morning, SideQuesters. Welcome back to the SideQuest Book Club Podcast. We are going through Wintersteel Part 3 today, guest episode. Happy to have Spenser and Casey and JT and your favorite, Slava, back on the game. Game recognized game. How's everybody doing? What are you wearing?
I'm obviously dressed up as you asked me to. You guys put in the link, come in, a costume. I was like, oh, hey, I'll dress up like Eithan.
The wizard pimp is in the house.
Wizard pimp. That's kind of... that looks more wizard pimpy than Eithan in his very nice... Where's your kimono? Eithan wears a kimono regularly. He's very fine dressed. I can't even see your haircut.
Do I look like I own a kimono?
You know what this is? This is Eithan when he was a jade.
Wow.
I can see that.
And you're not actually smoking. I want you to really smoke. Or...
You want me to smoke inside? You want me to put
that
tobacco up in the walls? No, I'm not doing that.
I do want you to put tobacco up on the walls. So that you have to paint 3 times before you can sell the house.
And got to clean out the air conditioning. And you got to clean out all the vents. And
everything,
yada, yada.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. We ain't doing that.
So what is this character, Casey?
Well, I originally got it for a cosplay con. And it's a Shadow Wizard money gang.
I don't. Spenser, Slava, do you know?
No clue.
Apparently, I'm out of the loop.
Okay.
All right, I'll drop the link here in chat. Give me a moment.
JT, where are you at? All right, JT left it.
Greetings.
Oh, there's Eithan.
Hello, sacred artists.
He looks more like Eithan than you do.
But I'm dressed up as Eithan from when he was throwing the match.
The Jade, right? Yeah. Okay.
From when he was throwing the match when he asked Reagan Shen to give him all those clothes.
And so he just wore all the clothes at once?
Oh, yeah. And the pipe that was spewing out his name from the tip, and the rings and the stupid jewelry, everything to make him ridiculous. I'm missing the monocle. I know I'm missing the monocle. I don't own a monocle.
You won't defeat me this time.
I'll have to.
Explodes. Those were some fun battles, that's for sure.
Oh,
He knows how to do spectacle.
Oh, so much. I dressed up as a fat man in a little shirt. It's also very wrinkled because I knew that'd get on Slava's case. The shirt basically doesn't fit me. So
don't stretch too hard.
I won't. I don't want to exert myself and pop a button. This isn't
Let's not
SideQuest After Dark.
Let's not crack a screen or something here.
That's right. All right.
I went ahead and just dressed up as myself. I know it's a
lame.
Really
shame Spenser.
Well, see, it's a really popular look, so I know everyone wanted to see it again. So I was like, no, just dressed as myself.
Gets famous on the internet for Project Hail Mary and comes back with like, "Hey everybody, I'm back. I look like a tech mogul."
Why stop what's obviously working?
Exactly. Thank you,
Spenser. I think your choice of colors is perfect.
Shut up.
Thank you. I worked very hard on the navy blue here.
Better than... So I didn't think this was actually going to show up in time. I ordered this 2 weeks before and didn't ship until about 5 days before from China. And
you bought it from the homeland?
Yeah. I thought, they'll be good at making their own clothing because this is a Chinese, I think, a Hanfu-inspired thing. It's not particularly well made or made of good material. But
is it polyester
for a costume? Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh man, you got scammed internationally.
It's not scamming. I just needed a costume. I didn't pay much for it. I didn't expect it to be something I wanted to actually wear. But yeah, it went from Shanghai to Alaska, back to Shanghai, back to Japan to Indiana in the space of 2 days.
Did they forget to add an extra thank you note?
I don't know. I don't know why it went back to Shanghai from Alaska. I assume it was just, we got to the North American continent, but they decided it'd be easier to put on this other shipment rather than
Or it could be some sort of weird shipping issue where they're like, okay, we need things to, have arrived in America at least 3 days before they get put in, say, whatever shipping request form is needed. So we need to make sure it's there before it's actually there.
Yeah. Either way, fine. And
I love the dedication. It's just the fashion's like 2 dynasties out of fashion.
Oh yeah, this is very early traditional Chinese.
Very late 1400s, yes.
They've gone through some weird dynasties, weird fashion choices. There was that one where all the Chinese people had to shave like the front half of their head.
Right.
Which was actually imposed on them by a foreign government.
Are we surprised?
No.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, this is like, oh yeah, you're going to be wearing the sign of your servitude for us on your head. Congrats. And that lasts for quite a while.
Hundreds of years even.
I think that was the Qing dynasty.
Well, you can look it up and let us know. All right, Casey, let's watch this video you got here. Who's it by?
So the original song there was by Joey. That's with Joey with 2 Y's, by the way. It's some rap/trap music guy, but he spawned off a whole meme from the intro and some of the lines used throughout the song. So
let's get into it.
Shadow Wizard Buddy Gang. We love casting spells. This song is sponsored by the Shadow Government.
The Shadow Government?
Yeah. Where do you think Shadow Wizards get their governance?
I don't know.
Nuke Radio.
It's Nuke Radio.
I don't know if you need to watch.
Is this a Levi's commercial?
I'm not sure. The song itself wasn't nearly as popular as the meme that spawned off from it.
Nuking is now legal.
Got it.
This because it's not the artist that made it; it's the producer.
Yeah, it's not. Again, the meme spawned off of the lines at the beginning, and then a couple other ones. The song itself is not important.
Make 'em wipe me down. Casey.
Make 'em wipe me down.
Make 'em wipe me down. It's a weird fetish. I'm always shocked that like things blow up on the. Oh, it was a cross. Jesus is a cross. Jesus,
a little bit of everything.
Holy
here.
shit!
the Shadow Government over here. Man, this is the best production value I've seen in a minute.
I feel like I'm taking drugs at the same time as having a stroke.
What's with the little white blocks every so often?
That's how you know it's good music.
Oh, okay. Is he cold?
No, he's turning into a Shadow Wizard.
Hold on.
This is now a. Oh boy!
Wow, this was
That was something.
that
That was one of the videos of all time.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I
I was a better man for not seeing
remember
it.
being. What did you say, Slava?
I was a better man when I did not see that. That's
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember being in middle school making videos like that, but
Again, I did warn you guys that the meme was not exactly the song itself. It was just spawned off by a couple lines from it.
yeah, literally like 10 seconds at the intro.
Yeah.
It comes. That video comes from the tradition of less is more, but more is even more.
Oh, okay.
Every flashing light possible.
Yeah, put as much as you can in there.
Let's just screw the people with epilepsy.
Yeah.
I think that gave me
They
epilepsy.
can't enjoy this music.
Yeah, they didn't put the warning up there that said this has flashing sequences.
I don't think he could afford
may cause
legal.
seizures.
I don't think he could afford legal.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, all right, Casey, you're part of the Wizard Pimp gang. That's cool. Respect or something.
All right, I'm not even gonna try arguing with you guys anymore about this.
Yeah.
The Shadow
Just put
Pimp
a bigger
Gang.
chain on. Maybe I'll.
I was originally gonna have like 2 like knuckle duster things that say Fireball, but
That would have been fun.
Those are stuck in Indiana.
couldn't find it. Couldn't find it on Etsy or Amazon or anything like that.
Mafia gangsters meet, medieval wizardry, and like that's how you cast your spells. You have to swap out brass knuckles. Fire spell.
Apparently, there was a game that just got released where you have to chant the actual spell into your mic in order to cast it at other people.
I'm not going to be good at that game.
No.
That sounds like a lot of members.
But yes, you can accidentally cast on yourself if you just like say the spell name. It's like, oh, I've got Fireball on my.
Babe, what are you doing? I'm about to cast Fireball. Oh. And you're dead.
I cast the Void.
All right, I'm gonna take this hat off because it does not feel comfortable.
Weak.
I see that you wore your servitude on your head for us. Thank you.
Yeah. No, actually, it's on the whole. It goes all the way back.
Wow.
Disgraceful.
Wow.
Any medieval Chinese person would die before cutting their hair off.
Shame on your family.
Oh man. All right, Slava, bring it home for us.
Bring it home. Well, as you stated, we are in Wintersteel, Part 3. This is the 8th book in the Cradle series. It continues the Uncrowned King tournament, where the outcome holds high stakes for the world's power balance and potential rampage of the Dread Gods. Lyndon becomes a key figure for Nordstrider's interest. Yaren advances. Eithan advances to Archlord, showcasing his IC revelation. And the immediate aftermath of the tournament, we see monarchs engaging in battles, fury ascending, and we find out that Lyndon's hometown is being besieged, or about to be besieged by the Dread Gods. So everybody makes their way there. That's where we end. Fun and exciting times in the world of Cradle.
It was pretty crazy just how every single thing just starts happening simultaneously within the last 50 pages.
Yep, just keeping it real.
Sanderlanche version of Will White.
A white lanch? That
White
probably
lanch.
sounds too much like lynching.
Yeah, I don't like
Never
that.
mind. Never mind.
You tried.
Sometimes trying is just not good enough.
Do
That's
or
Lyndon.
do not. There is no try.
You might say
Yeah, that's
it's
somebody's name. Don't worry
White
about
showing
it.
his power in writing. No?
What,
Spencer's
too much?
giving you a
Feeling
pity
his
laugh.
power level like some sort of Dragon Ball character?
There we go. That's what I meant.
FBI.
17 episodes of Spear Bomb.
Continued for 5 minutes.
As a
back
kid,
to
it was
it later.
great. And then you're like, is he ever going to do the Spear Bomb?
Oh, cool. He's got yellow hair now.
He bleached it. It intimidates the enemies.
He frosted the tips.
So, little fun little story. When I was in, I don't know, 6th grade or something like that, we convinced my parents to let us dye our hair or like bleach our hair to be Super Saiyan. So that's what I did. But I didn't stop at the hair. I also did the eyebrows.
You did your eyebrows.
Oh my gosh.
No, please
Oh,
tell
yeah.
me you didn't.
Do you
Oh,
have
yeah.
pictures
Wow.
of that still?
Somewhere. I'll try to find them mid-episode
Yeah, go
here.
ahead and post that.
I'll
need to see.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Listen, there's no shame. Every single kid has probably tried to do the Kamehameha at some point in their life.
And half of them never even watched the show.
Oh, yeah.
There are a couple of like very large decals, or I guess hand drawn paintings of Dragon Ball Z characters in my neighbor's garage. It's really cool.
Hey, it's dangerous to go alone. So don't. You should always side quest with friends. Hit that subscribe button and join the party.
All right. Well, he's searching for a embarrassing photo from his childhood. What do you guys think about how they all acted once they got split up into separate teams or groups? It was interesting, I thought, how you could see the void that would have been filled by one of the other characters interacting there, and it never happened because there wasn't anyone there to pull a character out of, say, a thought loop that he was having. Like Yeren, there was no one to pull her back from being extremely violent against the Dread God cultists when they showed up, and there was no one to pull. Well, I guess there was technically Grace, Akura Grace, who pulled him out of his self-recursive, I need to get stronger, I need to get stronger, I need to get stronger mental loop. It was interesting how you could see the void that another character should have filled to enhance that scene, and without them, it was very changed.
So this already kind of leads into one of my hot takes. So I'm gonna bust into that right now. It specifically has to do with Yaren's blood shadow, that whole segment, which I think was a really cool idea, but I think it also shows one of Will Wight's kind of weakest links here, one of his weakest things as a writer.
Shut your mouth.
No.
Keep going.
Thanks,
Go off,
brother.
King.
So, Yaren's blood shadow, the whole thing is, it's a version of her, except that it's more honest. And I like that idea, but Yeren is the wrong character to have that because she's already brutally honest as a character. And so the only honesty they get, she's being honest with her feelings about Lyndon. It's like, that's not compelling. That's high school melodrama. Right?
That's not why we read this book?
It feels very much like, not to specifically try and quote Rick and Morty, but a singular joke in there made me remember this. Crocubot, which was, so you're unfeeling
robot,
half unfeeling robot, half equally unfeeling reptile. And it's like, yes, this is what Crocubot is. It's like, it feels like Yeren. That's Yeren and her blood shadow. You're one half brutal, honest, cutting person, and another half equally brutal, but also red.
Also red. Can't leave that out.
Oh, yeah. That's highly important to her character.
It was Blaren for me.
Blood Yeren.
Which was, what was her name?
The Winter Sage's suggestion.
The Winter Sage's name for the Blood Shadow.
The Winter Sage had some interesting interactions with Yeren through the entire book.
Yeah, she was just hell-bent on being right as opposed to actually winning, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that was a good segment because she's obviously she's kind of cut up, but she's the sword.
It's a good joke.
Sword person. About losing her. Were they lovers
best
or
friends?
Were they? She was obviously interested in the Sword Sage, and she's seeing Yeren through that lens. It's like, you have to be the successor of the Sword Sage and do everything he did, not allowing Yeren to be her own person. I like that aspect.
You mean because it feels like real life?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Sure. It's a good style of writing. It feels authentic and real. It feels like something that would actually happen.
Like someone who was actually mourning after the loss of a loved one would project that loved one's image onto, say, that loved one's child.
Well, I mean, they were engaged, the Sword Sage and the Winter Sage.
Right.
So, and he put his wedding on hold to try to help Yeren, who then, well, she didn't get him killed, but he got killed in the midst of it. So, I feel like she's got a little bit of validation in terms of being like upset. I don't know why I air quotes that. She actually is upset.
She's very upset. She says she's not upset, but she's lying.
Where do we see that they are engaged? I don't remember reading that.
Earlier in the book,
were they engaged?
On the first read through, I didn't catch that. And when Jonathan brought it up, I think in episode 1, part 1, I was taken aback. I had to go back through and try to find it. And I think it's like a throwaway sentence. Yeah, it's a throwaway sentence where it says that they were betrothed or some nonsense.
Yeah, it's a single sentence.
Okay, so it could have just been like a one-sided love affair where she liked him, but he was like, I don't really care that much. I'm going to go train this chick.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, if they're engaged, I feel like...
Betrothed would be somewhat different.
Oh, well, true.
What do you think the word betrothed means?
Promised by other people. Engaged means I promised myself to you and you to me, and we're going to be together. Betrothed means somebody else controlled this.
Like a political marriage or something.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll give it to you. I don't fully see it. I think it adds more drama if he was trying to save his protege or his mentee, and then died. I think it adds more conflict.
And based how the Winter Sage feels about the Sword Sage, I don't know. I feel like there's more
mutual.
Like, yeah, it's more mutual. They seemed to love each other based on what we read about both of them.
Well, I mean, did he talk about the Winter Sage at all in that, like, the first chapter of the book where it actually goes through and looking, at the scene of his death, right?
Well, that was mostly focused on the fact that he died by the Heaven's Glory School, but we
don't see enough of him in particular to ever get a real reading on his character.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We get one chapter.
That's why I came to a different conclusion where she was when the Winter Sage was more of a pining after the Sword Sage, and the Sword Sage was not that he hated her, but that he was less interested in romance in general.
Well,
fair enough.
Well, you were trying to simp over me. I studied the blade.
Yes. That's exactly how he felt. Good catch, guys. You read through the lines. You got what Will was trying to...
It's Will White's joke again.
We don't get any of her character revealed until this book, right? And he never mentions her. And it's this one line that they're engaged, betrothed, whatever. And even when we first meet her, the only way we know that she's connected to the sage, the Sword Sage, is that she has the same sword as him. And Yaren's like, oh, she must be connected to him in some way. And if I'm remembering correctly, she thought in that moment, or we are told that she thought that she was a student of the sage or another one of a group of these type of sages. So we never get any inkling that they were romantically involved until that one line, which I missed.
It was a very missable line. She does seem like she pines after him, though.
Right. So I'm agreeing with JT without saying that directly, but I'm agreeing with JT. It doesn't seem like he cared as much about their engagement as she did, based on what's given to us in the books.
Man, no respect for mutual affection because we didn't hear it out of his own mouth. Okay, cool. I see what you guys are saying and disagree.
Jonathan's an optimist, that's why.
I was trying to subtly get Slava to read Romantasy without him actually knowing it. This is just the first seedling of that because it's one line that you have to catch, and I'm just like subconsciously planting it in his noggin.
Are you guys gonna read some Sarah J. Maas after this?
Oh
no,
yeah, baby.
No.
Let's go.
I will be absent from those episodes.
Jonathan's trying to do some inception over there on Slava.
Bookception. Contraception. No. Conception. That's what I wanted to say.
Contraception.
Words are words.
When the pause is too pregnant.
Well played, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, but
nice.
Jonathan was frothing in the mouth with excitement. He's like, we have to read this book. And so I went and researched it, and I went to some YouTube summaries of it, and then I read the Goodreads review and the blurb and all that stuff, and I was like, no, this is horrible. This is an annoying girl with the hots for a dragon? That seems... No. That just seems dumb. But he keeps bringing it up.
Frothing at the mouth. Yes, that seems like me. I often froth.
It's the first time
at the mouth.
It was about this book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, JT.
At least he has the courage to admit
Appreciate
it.
the support.
So, what are these pictures?
I can't find them. There's only one photo actually.
Oh, he's bringing up the Super Saiyan pictures again.
He can't find them.
Oh no, I have no shame. Everything is public on my Facebook. You can go look. There's a lot of embarrassing things there.
Okay, just put your picture into an AI generator and have it turn your hair yellow.
All right, Jeremy, bring us back into the story.
Back to Will Wight and the story of Wintersteel. So I think that Will Wight, something that he does is that he relies on the fact that he's treating this a lot like a television series, like an anime cartoon.
Facts.
And drawing you into it enough to make you insert things that aren't necessarily there. I think he's getting you to fill in the extra details that he's not putting. So with the Yeren Blood Shadow section, he's getting you to think, oh, this is she's being true to herself, but like not being honest, and it's coming out in the Blood Shadow, and that's a cool development. Except he doesn't show too much of that. I think that if he had set it up better, he would have had Yeren do things like push Lyndon away during that time where he asked her to dinner, but she was all for it. She was being very obvious that she's into him. And so it feels off when you say, oh, it's her, but honest. It's like, yeah, but is it? There's not much difference here.
I'm going to back my brother up on this one a little bit. I definitely think that they could have done things in the previous book or so to indicate that, say, her blood shadow could evolve into this, that it was reflecting her personality and not just the feral blood shadow archetype. We only really get an expansion to the blood shadow's character. Sorry, Ruby's character. I'm pretty sure he just named the blood shadow Ruby because he was tired of writing Yeren's blood shadow every single time.
I don't doubt it.
He's like, this is too many letters. Down to 4.
It's very possible.
But and then he wrote the blood shadow out of the story entirely. He's like, I'm done.
Well, stories should develop. Characters should grow.
I agree. The one thing I'll push back on is Yeren's liking of Lyndon. I picked up on her struggling with her feelings, I think 2 books back, maybe 1 book back. She had what I called affections for Lyndon. And at that point in time, I was like, I'm not sure if she likes him, or is this just sisterly affections? And even those for her are sort of foreign, given her upbringing. But I thought there was a hint of romantic affections for him. So to me, when she was like, yep, let's go, before he even got, finished his sentence or his spiel about them going out, she's like, yeah, sure, let's go to dinner. I'm for it. So that didn't feel off to me. But the rest of it, I agree 100%.
Oh, it didn't feel off to me either. It's just a poor, I would say, basis for then having the blood shadow be this, oh, it's Yeren, but she's finally honest with herself.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I think it would have been better if she was a little bit more, let's say, damaged by her past experiences. Oh, I don't want to get close to somebody because the blood shadow in me might hurt them. That feels like a good foundation for doing that segment of you learning to accept that part of herself.
Okay.
And grow as a person.
Yeah. I'll buy that. That makes sense.
Yeah, because she's absolutely acting exactly as I would expect a teen girl to act with her first crush. In fact, both of them are acting exactly the way that I would expect. Awkward.
Thank you for spelling
like
that out.
Silence.
Yeah, I thought the blood shadow immediately being interested in Lyndon, like it felt like romantically. That definitely felt like it was too quick. But also like because I feel like Will is almost trying to portray Ruby as now this totally independent character from Yeren, even though technically they are sort of the same. It just felt, definitely a little bit weird and almost like too soon in a sense for Ruby to just be like super into Lyndon. But like it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know, it just kind of came off a little bit weird to me. But also part of the plot.
I felt the entire Blood Shadow thing. Every single time that they said, "But you're not Yeren," have any of you guys heard of Persona before?
You're going to need to specify a little bit because that's just a word. Is it a story?
Persona is a series of games that came out, and
then no.
One of the big overarching things is in the world of cognition or whatever, which they can go into and try to accomplish things. You have your shadow selves, so a you, but all of their like hidden personality traits and everything like that is exposed, and they're completely honest about everything. And if you deny your shadow self, it will try to kill you.
So they took Jungian psychology and added it into the story?
Pretty much.
It kind of, yeah. And I feel like that's what Will Wight is doing. He's relying on you having kind of seen these things before and go, oh, I understand what he's trying to get at. And then he goes, oh, cool. Well, as long as I can get you to think that, then I don't actually have to write most of that. I'll just get you to think that that's what I'm doing, and then you'll fill in the details in your mind.
Like most modern anime / manga writers, he's just relying on tropes.
Think that that's why these books are so short. It's a sizable book, but they go by really quickly because there's just not as much like per page word-wise. The word count is low.
Man, you're
roasting your favorite author.
Ragging on him all day. It's fine.
I love Will Wight. So the thing is that his creativity is fantastic.
Pulls out a scroll, except for the things I'm about to go over.
You critique the things that you love, okay?
No, definitely no, not always. Sometimes you critique the things that you hate.
I don't want
Will, JT hates you, and he wants you to know it.
JT's just giving him tough love, he loves him and he wants Will to succeed as an author and grow, so he's just giving him some
because Will's not
pointers.
Succeeding yet. He had $1 million Kickstarter. He's starting an animated series. People basically pulled him out of retirement for Cradle, being like, we want more Cradle. And he's like, if you get me over $1 million, I'll write you a short story novel, all set in Cradle. And people were like, boom, let's do it.
Tell me you have a man crush on Will Wight without telling me you have a man crush on Will Wight.
Yeah, JT.
Oh, no, Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan's the one that's got the man crush.
You're the one.
I'm coming at this objectively.
Sure, the man that's like waiting for every time. Oh, did you see Will Wight had another big update?
Oh man, Will Wight's next
it's part of the
update
podcast,
the
buddy.
Oh, goodness.
1.2 million. Sorry, I didn't say it correctly. 1.2 million.
Oh, see, he even knows the exact amount. So
I had to look it up.
Definitely knows more.
He DM'd Will Wight, and Will Wight answered him, and now it's all gone to his head.
That is true.
He's already slid into those DMs.
Although you can, I do have all the books just sitting right here.
Yeah, in the exclusive hard copy.
From the Kickstarter.
Oh my goodness.
You're not helping your case.
Exactly.
He's so excited when his buttons popped off.
Officer, did you see that? Did you see that? Slava, we're going to talk after this.
Is that Will Wight's bat?
How big are you? That's tiny.
Is that a fat joke, Casey?
No, that was a height joke.
That was a hand joke.
I took it as a fat joke. I thought it was funnier.
So did I.
I thought it was funnier that way.
Anyway.
Little shirt, little bat.
Little shirt, little bat, little shoes. I've started practicing the, never mind. It's not going to go well.
Oh, goodness.
So where are these hot takes that I heard from Slava was badgering me in the last 2 episodes about Yeren's literacy and character development, Lyndon's void icon and his evolving identity, tournament pull-up politics, things of that nature.
I mean, I thought that Lyndon's void icon being related to him being unsolved was a neat little wraparound to the beginning of the story. I do have concerns, however, because the issue with an ever-hungry person trying to reach higher heights. What happens when he reaches the highest height? What's he going to consume next? What's going on there?
Himself.
There we go. They're Ouroboros. What?
Sorry.
What?
I really wanted to make a Marilyn Manson joke.
You can.
We're talking about consuming yourself.
Oh no!
What? I got that reference.
What was it?
Wow.
What?
Have you not heard that before?
Blessed with ignorance. Don't enlighten them.
I mean,
If you know, you know. Jonathan doesn't know.
Yeah, it was.
Let's Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, you can just edit this out, right, Slava?
I could.
That we're leaving that in. That's pretty good.
he could.
As an explanation, cut this if you want to, Slava. There was it was a rumor that went around, not just nationally, but internationally, from what I've heard, that Marilyn Manson removed one of his ribs so he could fillet himself.
I'm not familiar with that 7-letter word, but
Oh,
Wow. So you're also illiterate, just like Aaron.
So you what else? You would remove your ribs so you could bend down far enough to
oh,
a little bit of self pleasure.
give himself the old Jack Reacher with his mouth.
Yeah, sure. And everybody knew about it. You can go to like any random school with like people when I was growing up.
Clearly, not everyone knew about it because Spencer and I are just sitting here going like, "What?
I don't know.
What? Can you just like tell me what you mean?"
I was
I
a
don't
sheltered.
understand.
I saw a podcast of a Greek guy that was like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that."
somehow.
I was a sheltered kid growing up.
See, I was as well, and I still knew about that.
Yeah, it's just it gets places, man. It's one of those dumb rumors that had no basis in fact. But
And he encouraged it. It's the funny part. I believe he encouraged it with like jokes asides. Talk about, oh yeah, missing a rib. Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
anyways, enough of that was a fun side quest. Don't put that in the video.
Bring us back here, Spence. Yaren's literacy or something, or what's his? Thank you.
Lyndon Yaren can't read.
I agree with Casey. I really liked how Lyndon's void icon tied back to him being unsold. Yeah, I just thought that was a really cool, neat little tie-in to the beginning, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes from here. Now, I know I've already read the whole series, but I had to reread this book because I just don't remember details very well. So it's always, which actually makes it fun to reread it again. So I agree with Casey. I thought that was pretty cool. Slava, what do you think about that?
I never picked up on it until it was mentioned this episode. I think it's a nice tie-up, but because I only am hearing it right now and didn't pick up on it at all, I don't know if I could add anything that is of value to the conversation. But yeah, it's a decent tie-up, nice bow, if you will.
What did you think of his odd? What was it? It was the phrase he used to understand it. It sort of felt like an overlord.
Remind us of the phrase.
I think he said, "I am the end," and when he said that, that's when his icon appeared. Lyndon was consuming the Wandering Titan, and he was just in his own mind, and then suddenly was, "I am the end," and the void icon appears. He becomes a sage.
I thought that was way after he tried to consume.
Is it?
Yeah. So the Wandering Titan thing was before the final round even started, and that was him trying to get his Overlord revelation and trying to understand Hunger Madra, to help with his arm.
I'm gonna look up,
and that was when he realized, oh crap, the Titan's going for my home. He's going back home, which is also where it was revealed. Dun, 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 the Dreadbeast's home is Sacred Valley, which might explain its weird properties.
Do you mean Dread Gods?
Dread Gods. Well, I mean, the Dreadbeasts come from the Dread Gods, so yeah, I suppose it would be their home as well. But yes, that the Dread Gods' home is Sacred Valley.
I mean, that's not entirely true, but you won't find that out yet.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just dealing with these one book at a time. You're the one who's read ahead.
I did notice some foreshadowing in this book from things that do get revealed later on, and obviously the first time I would have had no idea.
You can't know.
You can't. But it's really cool to go back and read and be like, oh, he was dropping hints, all throughout the books. And in this one, there was mention of something to do with the monarchs and the dread gods, and I was like, oh, okay, I see where. Like, now that because I've read book 12 and have seen some of the revelations, and then seeing some of these things tie in together in book, I don't know, it was just pretty cool. Like, so props to Will Wight for doing some great foreshadowing.
As good authors do. We'll expect your apology now, JT.
No.
I love it.
We'll extract it.
Straight up, no.
I don't apologize for anything. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant.
An elephant's right, 100%.
Can we talk a bit about how the Abaddon guy who came...
The Hound?
Was it the Hound?
Kieran?
I thought it was like one of the Hounds. It was one of the
Machiel, the Hound.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Kieran of the Hounds.
Kieran of the Hounds. Yeah, the Kieran of the Hounds is the guy who showed up. I feel like he acts like a mix between an a-hole genie that twists your wishes and the middle manager who has just enough power over you to be a douche about it. What? Not going to follow up on that?
Is there more to that? It sounded like...
I mean, I felt like it summarized it pretty well, but anyone else have any interpretations of that? Because he kind of just shows up, establishes himself at the end of the last book, and then we just see him briefly at the end, for the most part, giving Yaren the choice. Ah, yes, who are you going to kill with this? Choose it now, you can't save it. I didn't mention that last part, but you still have to follow it.
Penance.
He is what we call a plot device.
You mean like Eithan?
Kind of, yeah.
Well,
I think Ethan's more of a main character than Kieran, but I can see how Kieran is a plot device. But he also definitely has middle manager vibes, where he has a little bit of power and he's gonna
middle manager vibes.
I agree with that. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that was definitely a good description there, Casey. But yeah, I feel like he has that, and he's just exerting his power. But also, the monarchs definitely fight amongst each other like children. So I can definitely see Kieran, just trying to, do what he can to, I don't know, have them play nice together.
Well, you made it this far.
Why not go a step further?
Rate the show.
It helps more than you think. We meet the Abaddons, the court, here and there throughout the books, and I've always viewed them as a little bit of kind of douchey characters. They're out for themselves. They have no regard for the lives they affect with whatever political machinations or self-serving machinations that they are a part of. So it kind of seems part and parcel that he would be a douchey middle management type of guy.
I mean, he is essentially a plot device because he's tying back into, I think, Machiel, who said, oh, I'm going to accelerate things on Cradle. He's trying to get some extra manpower because they're currently in a conflict. So, and they actually mention it, that at some point in this book, they go, yeah, we were going to punish that one underlord who opened the labyrinth, the door to the labyrinth, except that even if he had left that door open for years, it shouldn't have caused the effect of the dread gods that it did. Because Machiel, if you remember in a short scene, accelerated things and intentionally woke up the dread gods. He poked them, he edited the world to give them more energy. Get up, you lazy beast. I think it ties back into that where he's like, okay, yeah, hey, yeah, Dread God's coming. You guys gonna, ascend here? Haha, unless. He's exactly like what you would expect somebody he's doing a dirty job. He's had to descend to a lower world and interact with people there. And he's as fully disgusted with that as anybody else would be if they lived in some sort of heavenly realm.
It felt to me like he was on the same power level almost as the monarchs, based on how they felt that they could try and actually kill him at certain points in their conversations.
Well, they're also very arrogant as a group.
They are very arrogant, but you would also remember they all, you look at their other monarchs and say, I could kill him, but it would be very difficult. Yeah. He's, a dangerous opponent in a close fight. He knows that. That's why he's got me in this room with him, sort of thing. Actually assessing danger, whereas with the, the Abaddon messenger, they're like, this a-hole. I want to kill him.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the pure hubris of like being a monarch and then thinking like this divine being who came down and being like, I could take him. That's a level of hubris that like is unseen elsewhere in the book, in my opinion.
I mean, this is a wuxia. Challenging the heavens is sort of the deal.
True. That's like the theme of basically every Chinese progression fantasy novel.
Well, then China has a lot of hubris.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel the hubris in your robe that you're wearing?
Hubris?
Yeah, that's where the flicking the sleeves come from. I'm done with this fool.
Yes. Very
Love it.
nice.
Very dramatic.
I can
love it.
see that in a period drama or something.
Chinese period drama. A dynasty drama is what they used to call them. You'll laugh about that one later.
Look, gratitude.
You got to put your hands in the sleeves.
No, this is how they do it. They
Don't tell me about how they do it. I'll tell you how they do it.
I've watched some
Neither
TV
of you
shows
have been
before.
to China before.
I'm a monarch. I'll tell you how to do it. And you'll just do it.
I'm sorry,
My subject.
but I don't think watery tarts giving out swords is any method for a system of governance.
There we go. There it is.
All right, let's wrap this back.
Wrap this back. Speaking of the genre, so this is progression fantasy. And I've been thinking a little bit in my spare time about what makes good progression in progression fantasy. Because in most books, the growth of the character as a character is the point. But in progression fantasy, it's like the physical growth, the power, the strength, the whatever of the character is the important factor in making the book exciting. And I think I've come up with a couple of things that I think describe what makes progression good, or when a progression is good.
I think a progression is good when you see struggle first. Then, so let's start with this. You see, confusion and frustration at the current level. Then you see struggle trying to get over that. And also just before that, because I'm kind of piecing this together as I go, is the decision to try to make a difference, right, in your own life. And then the achievement of that thing. I think we talked in one of the previous episodes that a couple of the books, it's like, oh, Lyndon goes up 2 power levels. And it's like, there's no struggle there.
Right.
So it's challenging. But the other thing that good progression has is a properly contrasted bad guy. Because you can't have, you can tell me your power level 9,000. It's like, cool, that doesn't mean anything if I'd watched you kill a bunny rabbit. Like, cool, I can also kill a bunny rabbit. Am I power level 9,000? The contrast of the bad guy is also important because otherwise you don't have a context, which is why when the Hound comes down and the monarchs can't take him, even collectively, you understand his power level. I mentioned this in Ghostwater, that we see that Akura Pride, is a big badass because everyone who is sitting there with him doesn't want to mess with him.
You mean Harmony?
Harmony. Yeah, thank you.
Pride's the one who has to eat his pride in his book.
Harmony. But nobody wants to mess with him, and they're all very powerful as well. So that juxtaposition of their power levels against his is like, oh, I don't want to mess with him. even though he has a backing of like the reigning family. So, long answer, long.
All right. I would say that, what was it? Progression fantasy. The progression of the character should match the progression of the power. Say, sort of like how Will Wight has done it in this book, where you can only advance once you've had your revelation about yourself. I think that's a good way
like that.
to sync up the character's self-progression with his power progression. A lot of times in a story, this will be, some mental revelation in the midst of a crucial fight or something, and that will give them the drive they need to pull through. And in progression fantasy books, it's often just, yes, I meditated into a cave for 1,000 years, and now I have reached the nascent soul.
True. A lot of the time.
That's not really entertaining for me. That's like, okay, and what did you learn? Nothing. I just got stronger.
Spenser, have you got any thoughts on what makes progression fantasy good? Or the progression in progression fantasy?
Probably not, just because this is the only series of books that I've actually read that is progression fantasy.
Stormlight's progression fantasy.
Is
okay,
it?
well,
Controversial take.
Right, that's a hot take.
I can.
It's not controversial. It's
no.
True.
I can see. Yeah, I can see that, Jonathan. That definitely makes sense.
New oath, new power, progression.
Yeah, and it definitely ties in with character development as well. Like in Stormlight, your character development is basically how you advance with your actual like powers, physical abilities. Like you have to come to terms with things about yourself in order to be able to move on and to gain the next power level or physical power level. And I mean, I can kind of see that here in Will's books, where maybe not up to like, well, yeah, no, I think in even when you're at the gold level and into the lord levels, like there are, character revelations that you have to have before you can kind of advance. So I do like that. But beyond that, I guess I don't really have anything extra to add into what you guys have already shared. I do like the fact also it's kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of like video games too, where this is almost like a video game in book form kind of as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like you gather resources and, to try to unlock, to the next level of power or the next big weapon. And it's like the more you level up, the better weapons you get and the more power, cooler powers you can get. So I really do like that. But yeah, other than that, I think Will does a great job of writing this as a progression fantasy novel.
Slava?
The power ups have to, I don't want to say coincide, but they have to be parallel in some form to your character arc, your progression as a character, unless you want to show a person who's getting power but continues to be immature, and that leads to a downfall or whatever. But if the character doesn't advance as a person as he gets new powers and new revelation, well, that wouldn't work. But I'm sure there's books out there that explain that poorly or show that poorly, where a person reading and going, I don't see how this person is growing. He's getting this power. It seems too easy. He's really the same bland character or adjective character throughout the story, and yet he's advancing or she's advancing. So I think both have to be shown in a clear way for it to be a good progression fantasy.
Right. Because without the character growth, it's just a power fantasy.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the Chinese ones do boil down to, is the more of a power fantasy. They do have external themes, but those themes tend to be more external and encompassing like the whole world and the world building rather than an internal experience that the character is having. So I came up with 4. I've been reading a bunch of these kinds of Chinese novels again in between our podcasts. So I've thought about this. So what you brought up is sort of similar to some of the things that I brought up. One, I think it has to be a fairly sizable upgrade. You can't have like a trivial increase in power.
Yes.
Feels kind of off at that point. And you can't make it too big compared to the sort of other things involved, because then it feels unearned.
Right.
2.
Like I said.
I call it uniqueness or exclusivity. The more powerful it is, especially, the more you'll want it to be something that it's like, oh, it's mine alone. If somebody else can just copy and is going to experience the same thing, it doesn't feel as impactful. Third was, I said, risk and costs inherent in the obtaining or caused by obtaining it. So either it takes a lot of risk or a lot of giving up something in order to obtain whatever power up you're getting, or the act of obtaining it in itself will cause you to have a lot of risk or have to experience some loss. And then finally, length and complexity of the journey to obtain it. In the Chinese novels, the complexity of obtaining it is all in the journey, but not experienced like internally within the character. But in I think in Will Wight's book, that's where his internal revelations come from. You have to understand yourself. There's I have to experience inner growth to understand and get this power up, which is, I think, a really good addition. It's why I really liked his Underlord, Overlord, Archlord power up section.
Does anybody? So a quick tangent on that. Has anyone done any research on like where he came up with these like power level delineations?
No. Are you asking because you don't know, or asking because you do know?
I don't know. No, but it does provoke a thought in me that goes, okay, you've got iron. You got unsold copper, iron, jade, right? Gold.
No,
low gold.
Yep.
High gold, true gold.
Right.
Underlord, Lord, Overlord, although Lord is not really...
I think it's technically Underlord, Overlord, Archlord.
Thank you. That's what it is. Yeah, there's tiers. I'm just like thinking about it because of your question here. So I was just wondering if anybody had done any search.
Well, he's just adapted what is generally like the basic Chinese one.
Oh, is this normal? Oh, yeah, okay.
It's kind of, I mean,
not in
they're all words, very right? Customized. They're all customized to whatever universe that particular author wants to do. And he definitely added his own flair with the internal revelation being used as an important factor. But like in the Chinese ones, you'll go, what was it? It's your chi condensation, which is like you're a normal human, but you can use magic powers, but very weak ones. And it's like you're condensing this like gaseous form, and then eventually you've condensed enough of it that it has to go liquid, and then we call that foundation establishment. And it like in this big moment, you condense the gaseous chi in your body into a liquid, and it forms inside of this like organ, which I don't think really exists, called a dantian, but it's somewhere like
organ
inside your like below your stomach.
So like your solar plexus or
something weird.
Yeah.
And
I mean that would line up with martial arts as well. We learned about
it's all connected.
Yeah, okay.
And then from that it's still a liquid. You keep adding to the liquid until eventually it becomes a solid, and that's called core formation, which is like the biggest of the like most important ones, because after this you can kind of make more mistakes and fix them later. But if you make a mistake at the beginning, you've wrecked yourself, and you might have to rebuild yourself from the ground up if you wanted to become more strong, more powerful.
So like how they were talking about your lifelines, you might damage your lifeline if you do this, or...
Yeah, it comes from the Chinese novels again. So you go up to, you form your core into a soul. So it's like a soul that's separate from you, and it can leave your body and like walk around. But generally speaking, you'll want to keep it in a body. That's called nascent soul. And then above that, it's up. Every author will do it differently. So he's done the exact same thing. He kind of took away the spiritual soul aspect of it. But other than that, very similar, where each level just gives you one. Oh yeah, you've become generally stronger. And also, I don't think he mentions it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at the very beginning of the book, he's looking at the sage, and the sage mentions that, man, it's been a long time since I felt mortal. And you go, oh, yeah. Did Will Wight ever mention that people at some point become immortal doing this? Or did you just assume that you know or notice?
Immortal, no, but age slower, yes. to the point where I think it is just assumed immortality.
Because that is the whole goal in the Chinese novels, is the pursuit of true immortality.
He introduces it in Unsold with the little Heaven's Glory School guy who looks like a child.
Right.
Well, I thought his thing was that he was attempting to do that by using some weird method.
He did, but by attempting it means that it's like available in the world, right?
Yeah. It's just default. The further up you go, the slower you age, and the longer your lifespan becomes.
Right.
Until eventually you hit immortal, which I think in Will Wight's book is Sage and Heralds. At that point, anything past that, you are functionally immortal.
Well, I think Monarch is also immortal.
That's what I mean. Like anything past Sage and Herald.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, but I also think Archlord is immortal. I can't prove that.
That's he doesn't define them as well.
Right.
I don't think we get any like exact confirmations on the age of any of the
no
overlords or something like that.
No.
Lyndon says, "Oh yeah, this underlord is much older than I am," but
right. It's just general facts, general things. But I will say that you were just talking about something. I was just trying to power levels. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, just general descriptions and things like that. But I will say that and you mentioned this earlier, is like it's one line. Will is good at describing things that are just a single line, so that in rereads you can go, oh, he actually mentioned this way early on. And I wouldn't even declare it foreshadowing. It's just like he understands that covering world building doesn't need to be an encyclopedia dump. It should just be like, oh yeah, this thing, and then keeps moving forward.
I think that sort of world building does rely on what Jeremy was saying before about the assumption of certain tropes or ideas if you're familiar with it. Because I couldn't remember anything about that the immortality thing. I did sort of assume, since Malice has been around for so long. Yeah, there's got to be immortality something going on. But I didn't know for sure because he never specified anything along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And he certainly never specified at which point it's assumed you're immortal.
He takes a slightly different tact from the Chinese ones, because actually are his books written in
Chinese?
Reliable narrator or unreliable narrator?
I don't know if that's ever described. But I believe, based on what we see, that it's reliable narrator, because I don't know of many times when he does a gotcha with any sort of red herrings that I can think of.
Because I like the Chinese ones are what I like to call reliable narrator, but not really.
Reliably unreliable?
Or let's say backwards. They're backwards compatible.
Okay.
Sorry. They're forwards compatible narrator. So what I mean is their narrator is reliable at the time, but also will contradict the past narrator.
Yeah, come on.
But it's just assumed that he's always telling the truth at the moment that you're hearing it. Because they'll say, yes, this is like this thing is true, and they'll give you information that the main character doesn't know, just so that you, the reader, can know it.
Yep.
But then 50 chapters down the line, he'll give you additional information that he probably didn't have because he hadn't made it up at that point. Because I think they make it up as they go along. And so he just decides, oh, well, I want to contradict what the narrator from earlier said, so I'm just going to do that.
Classic.
And say, oh, it was another hidden truth deeper, and you just didn't see it.
You must go down deeper into your cultivation to understand the depths of my storytelling.
It's like, yes, the narrator from before was correct, but the narrator now is more correct.
I like more correct. That's fun. When do I get to be more correct?
Well, some people are more correct than others.
People with
Thanks, Wizard Pimp.
more comfortable shirts.
Should probably invest in those. That's on me. So let's dive into some more hot takes here. Slava is deeply grounded in the fact that Yaren's illiteracy is a problem for the story, and I'm not.
No, not for the story. I think for the story, it's fine. The fact that she is illiterate in world critique, I just find reprehensible that nobody in her life ever said, hey, no, I know we're going to the end of the sacred arts, or you need to advance, or you need to be strong in this world. You also need to learn how to read. Because if you're going to get to the end of the sacred arts and not read, not be able to read, bugs the crap out of me.
Listen, she gets strong enough. She has people that can read for her.
I've got people for that.
That's actually true.
When she reaches Monarch, why would she bother needing to read? Just get one of my heralds to read for me.
No, I get that, but to me, it just, I don't know why it boggles me or boggles my mind, but not one person in her early, and she's still young, but in her early development has thought that reading would be essential to her advancement.
I don't know. I think it's a very not interesting point, but rather is a very accurate statement that she can't read because of A, the way she was raised, B, she was like from a peasant family or something, right? She wasn't exactly super rich.
Correct.
And then the blood shadow came, and she didn't have any parents. And I don't think the sword sage ever put any. He believed that the sword was mightier than the pen.
Also correct.
So why would he bother a teacher? He's teaching her the sword.
That's my argument. Thank you, Casey.
No, I understand your arguments. I'm not disagreeing with your arguments specifically. I'm saying my critique in world is he should have cared. I know why he didn't care, and I know why she didn't care, meaning Aaron. I'm saying that they should have cared.
So you're just like the Winter.
He doesn't. But
you're the Winter Sage.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Page 133. She says, "It's a basic skill. I'll have to see if we have any literacy tablets left in the Foundation compound." It says, "It will drive me insane if I see you advance to Overlord before you learn to read."
Her and I.
All right. Has she
are in agreement.
Has she gone insane yet?
Are you also betrothed to the Sword Sage? Or were you?
Ooh.
Rest in peace.
Slava and the Sword Sage.
Sitting in a cave. Sitting in the labyrinth.
Sitting in the labyrinth.
C-U-T-T-I-N-G. No.
Oh, I was like T-U-T-T.
Tutting.
Tutting around.
Yeah.
Tutting.
Slava and the Sword Sage tutting around.
He and I had a tryst back in college, that's all. Nothing serious.
A tryst. Nice. Quaint.
Very
even.
quaint.
I too enjoy putting Y's instead of I's in my words.
So, Yaren's literacy doesn't bother anybody but Slava.
Yeah.
I agree with Slava.
Really likes Yaren.
I agree with Slava. I was surprised that she didn't know how to read.
What's that, Spencer? You got muted. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I can hear him just fine. I think maybe you've got some earwax in your ear.
I didn't mute him quick enough. Or, I mean, the camera, the microphone. Anyway, I'm a little power hungry. It's fine.
I see that, yeah. Maybe you're a monarch secretly.
Yes, I've been waiting for my community to finally recognize my royalty.
Yeah.
The hubris.
Slava, I'm talking to you.
But Yaren should have definitely have learned to read earlier. I mean, how do you advance without learning how to read? Like, don't you have to read things in order to
think about the world? Think about it.
This isn't exactly modern day.
Yeah.
It's not modern day. They're basically living in huts. They happen to have magical powers, but they're still agriculture for the most part. Do people in agriculture learn how to read? Not right away.
And if anything, it's kind of odd that so many people do know how to read.
the mortal lives. Yaren came from a cult family. Her parents worshipped the Blood Phoenix.
No? Wait, did they?
No, they were killed by the Blood Phoenix.
They were killed by the Blood
But
Phoenix.
you missed the story then. They were killed by the Blood Phoenix because they were dabbling in the powers of the Blood Phoenix.
So they knew how to read.
Not necessarily. The Faith of Red Sage or the Sage of Red Faith could have come and just shown them things. You don't have to learn. You don't have to know how to read to learn. This is, again, my point. You don't have to know how to read to learn how to throw a punch or to cut your arm open to give blood to the Blood Phoenix and then learn its powers.
In fact,
no reading required.
It's probably better if you don't know how to read, so you don't know how to find any dissenting knowledge as to what you have been told.
I think people are up in arms enough that it doesn't matter if you know how to read for that. But I like that you support my point. We'll let it slide.
Is that the royal wing?
Gracious.
Yes. JT,
I guess that makes what you're wearing the Emperor's new clothes.
That's a different outfit. I can't show that on camera.
I think, Jeremy, to your point about how many people are, know how to read is surprising. A lot of the characters that we have interacted with are either royal or associated with the royalty in some way. We haven't interacted a lot with peasant characters.
Correct.
Yeah, I wonder if any of the what were they called? The Sand Viper clan.
Yep.
I wonder if they know how to read.
Yep.
Probably not. Long probably knows how to read.
Probably
but
not.
the Sand Viper people probably not. Why would you?
Unnecessary. Just swing spear better.
And lock up more slaves and put them in the mines.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The God mines.
I feel like this actually kind of leads into one of my questions here. So there was a character, I think his name is Kalen.
Yes.
He mentions at some point that he was poor, and so the students with the more money, where their parents were able to invest in them better, they advanced faster and farther than he was able to. But then we also see Lyndon, who basically comes from nothing, and he works his butt off to advance and become more powerful than everybody else. Like that's one of his goals. So my question is, do people with more power and money have more of an advantage or an opportunity in life to advance faster?
One of them is my shadow.
I feel like that's a theme that's kind of touched on here and there a little bit throughout these books. But I'm curious as to what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Yes.
I say absolutely yes.
Yes.
But there's a yes, but.
Yeah.
The characters who live their lives in luxury also don't tend to be as hungry as Lyndon is for advancement. And that's like the same in real life as well. I think people that grew up in a good home with enough don't generally have this like, I need to make money. I need to take more risks because they're not used to doing that. But the people at the bottom are, and if you give them the opportunity, they often will take those big risks and become, make the big gains, the huge gains,
or die from it.
Yeah, that's the risk.
Right. So this goes to what you do with your resources. If you have a lot of resources and you still have drive, you will achieve things faster because you already have a leg up. If you have nothing, you start from zero, and you have zero drive, you'll just be there forever. But if you have very little and you have a lot of drive, even more drive than the guy with more stuff, you might make leaps and bounds just because of the effort you put into what you need to do to advance as a sacred artist, to be specific here. So
right, but then there is another layer of morality to take with Callan's argument about why he took the Dread God's aura into himself, or Dread God Madra, and channeled that. Because it's a whole cult worshiping these beasts that destroy everything around them. The question then becomes, all right, they advance faster than I had no choice but to take Dread God Madra into me and achieve things faster than them because of that. Which there's always a choice. I believe it sort of goes into the argument that we had, ontological versus utilitarian ethics almost, where the choice in his mind was, do I become stronger slower than others, or do I become stronger faster than others by using this, without understanding or caring rather about the implications of joining a cult that worships beasts that destroy the world. He is trying to frame it as, I had to do this because otherwise I would not be able to achieve what I have, without realizing that Lyndon is an example of someone who he had even less than that other guy, and he still managed to get to where he is at.
Yeah, but the thing about Lyndon has achieved what he has achieved because he's been bankrolled by the Aurelius Foundation.
True, but he wouldn't have achieved that if he hadn't taken the risks at the very beginning of the story that led up to that point.
Well, that was to my point from, I think, before in earlier podcasts, is that's the balance that you have to strike. He's gained a lot from being under the Aurelius name and getting access to those resources, and Eithan continuously doing things to advance him and Yaren.
The question then is, what did Kalen risk in order to get the power that he had? Because if he had essentially signed over his soul to the Dread God cult, it's not quite a risk when you know you're being given this power, or it's an easy path to power. It's sort of like cheating the system in a way, how they do it, where they're just borrowing the power from these demon things.
That still has a cost.
No,
It's not just handing you power. You still have to jump through a bunch of hoops.
And it's an easier, quicker, messier method. But it's not like he was also given this opportunity that Lyndon was. And here's the thing with Lyndon, right? Is what we have already seen what Lyndon would do if he didn't have Eithan. He wouldn't have gone outside. He would have spent his life in Sacred Valley, and he would have died. We saw that when Suriel in the first book simulated, here's what your life would have been like before, and he did go far beyond what most people would have expected of him in Sacred Valley, which shows his drive. But he did not choose to leave until Suriel comes and shows, oh, here's the possibilities, and then gives him a marble, and that marble becomes something that attracts the attention of somebody that then bankrolls him. He's been gifted a huge amount of his stuff. It wasn't him taking the risk. He's basically been said, here's fate on a platter for you.
I wouldn't say it's not that he still hasn't taken the risks, because he's very much risked his life trying to get into the Heavens School or whatever at the very beginning there.
Sure, to some degree. But I mean,
I think it's his drive.
Still been given something.
I think it's the drive.
No, it's definitely.
Yeah, I think it's his drive that gets him into Eithan's crosshairs, for lack of a better term. And then Eithan does definitely bankroll him and give him, he lost an arm.
Yeah.
And irrespective of how he lost that arm, let's just say the fact itself, lost his arm. If it wasn't for Eithan helping him get another arm, he would have been at a total disadvantage, no matter what risk he took to get to that point in time, right? So I think all of the things you guys are saying, they're true independently, but they work in tandem in this story. And I think in general in real life too. So you have people who have little means, who try really hard, and those efforts, whether they involve risks per se or not, probably get them to places where they do get a leg up, or they get a freebie, in air quotes, that helps them go further. And that freebie, at least in Lyndon's case, doesn't make him complacent like it would somebody, to JT's earlier point, who's had it, resources all their lives. It makes them drive even more, because if I do more and more and more things, I'll get another, again, air quotes, freebie. I'll get to another place where I'll be able to take more resources and use those resources to continue. So, not to get too much in the weeds with this, I think all the things we're saying, they kind of work together.
No, I agree. Because I'm not saying that he doesn't, Lyndon doesn't deserve any of this.
That's what I heard.
Lyndon is a main character, and the main character is somebody who started at the bottom, so he's got that incredible drive, but also has to, by definition of the plot, stay the main character by continuing to advance far beyond most people. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't be the main character anymore. So, and you can see it as, oh, the author's just gifting this to them, or you can also see it as, to some degree, the main character you are looking at a story in which you're not going to focus on the people that don't get anywhere. You're going to focus on that 1 in a billion person who has this incredible luck as well as incredible drive. And that's who you make stories about. And that's true in real life as well. The people that really make it are going to be, I hope you didn't hear that. It's my phone in my background. The people that you're going to focus on in any story are going to be the utterly exceptional, not the I got this by virtue of my birth and station.
That's why they keep hitting me up to do more stories about me.
Oh yeah, the exceptional growth.
Yeah.
Where are these?
He's growing so fast his buttons are popping
Yeah,
off.
look at that.
There it is. There it is.
Where are all these stories then, Jonathan?
It's on my OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
It's a text-based OnlyFans.
Oh, I didn't subscribe to that one. My bad.
You'll have to.
Yeah.
$2.99 a month because there's no visuals. Thought about incorporating some AI generation, but couldn't get the hand right. Kept putting 7 fingers on it.
And we were doing so good for just
Slow on the uptake there, Slava.
We were doing so good for a minute.
We've fallen apart.
Oh man,
Spenser, I think you were the one that brought up that point to begin with. Did you have a sort of an end cap to that, or a go back?
No, I really feel like you guys explained it well, and that really sums up my views on it too. I think people that do have more resources to start with definitely have more of an advantage in life, and like there's only a certain amount of pulling up your own bootstraps that'll really get you to certain places in life. Like obviously, Lyndon has a drive like almost no one else in his world, and that definitely gets him to places that very few people would get to, but also he definitely has the backing of the Aurelius, specifically Eithan, giving him all the resources that he needs to help him advance and use his drive. So yeah, I wasn't really focused necessarily on the character of Kalen. I just when he said that line, it just kind of made me think about that whole topic, just how people who generally are wealthier are better off, better situation. Like they tend to, if they have the drive of Lyndon, will make it further in life, or advance, quote unquote, quicker than other people. So yeah, that is pretty much my thoughts on that. But no, I think you guys summed that up pretty nicely.
I think it's somewhat there is a bit of a balance, like a self-balancing that goes on with this, at least generally, that the more you have, the easier it becomes to waste. And that builds up over generations. So if you have, that's why noble houses tend to fall at some point, because they get so full of themselves thinking that they're better than everybody else that eventually they don't have the skill to maintain the wealth that they have. And then somebody else who's worked harder and built the skills in like the current generation will come up to replace them. And that's generally how I think wealth works over generations.
Good times create weak men create hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times, and the cycle continues.
You could stop the loop now. We get it.
Casey, do you want me to do the loop again? Okay.
No.
Yeah, weak men.
Jonathan creates hard times.
What other remaining questions do you guys have before we wind this guy down from the book?
How do you feel about characters that are really stupid? I have been thinking
Can you expound on that?
Daiji.
I thought you were going to say Dross.
Dross is not a stupid character. He has no social thoughts because he's a program more than a human.
He's a bit of an oddity, but it's not. I'm thinking about characters like, so Daiji is the son of the other empire who survived. His brother died in the last book, I think.
2 books ago.
Kieran?
2 books ago. No, Kieran was the Hound guy. I forget.
Oh.
I forget his brother's name.
I thought it was something. I thought it was very similar to that, but
But he all he does is like, I hate you, Lyndon, and I will make you suffer. And he just cannot get through his mind that there is a world outside of his own experience. Lyndon's bad because he killed my brother. Yes, my brother was coming to kill him. He should have rolled over and died.
Doesn't make it okay.
Still doesn't make it okay in his eyes. Which I feel that is somewhat accurate to old blood feuds. It ceases to make sense at some point. You just know, oh yeah, that family over there. Oh yeah, we have a blood feud with them. Like one of their ancestors killed one of our ancestors, and so we're killing them. It was all started because he killed one of our sheep, and we killed one of their sheep, and yada yada yada. So it does feel accurate that way, in how he's just pursuing the blood feud.
Kill their family, salt their lands, and burn their fields, that their bloodline may never be remembered.
Sure, let's go with that. Slava, what were you about to say?
Well, I don't think Prince Daiji would be that eloquent in his revenge. He kind of rages against Lyndon, and his, we'll call them ill-conceived attempts at revenge in the face of Lyndon's clear and increasing power just shows his inability to like grasp reality. He's so focused on this revenge, and I think add hubris to it because he's a prince or whatever. It shows him as foolish, to stupid, to use JT's term. It shows him as a fool, like an unintelligent person, where it may be intelligent now, just foolish, because you can be intelligent and you can be smart in the sense of books and facts and details, but you can be a fool too, and I think that's what he is.
I agree with that.
Killing in the name of dun dun dun.
Yes.
Yeah,
No? You guys don't Rage Against the Machine? All right, cool.
Not really.
Great. Just me then.
We're just all rats, and despite all our rage, we're still in a cage. And I messed that lyric up too.
You messed it up.
Yeah.
Despite all our rage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a nice try, Slava.
It's my dyslexia, I guess.
Did you say dyslexia?
I heard dyslexia.
I didn't realize that worked verbally.
I guess so. That's just my dyslexia. It's another one.
Even if I said dyslexia, it's my dyslexia that forced me to say dyslexia. So, screw you guys.
Jonathan, I think your ears need glasses. That's why.
Just they do what they told you. It's another Rage Against the Machine line.
Yeah, nobody here listens to that band, so nobody's gonna.
Yeah, you don't. You don't even know the line.
My thing was Smashing
just
Pumpkins.
Rats in a cage.
Smashing Pumpkins, I think I've heard a couple of their songs. Again,
I prefer Growing Corn instead of Smashing Pumpkins, but that's just me.
Who?
Daiji to me felt a little bit. He felt like he would be perfectly at home in the Chinese source novels. There are so many people that are that weirdly obsessed with revenge and foolish. It felt out of place in this book, where everybody else seems to have some amount of reasonability or at least intelligence in getting what they want. That he just goes, "Oh yeah, no, I would burn this world to the ground if it meant getting revenge on Lyndon."
Brilliant, Daiji. Brilliant.
I didn't like it as a character. Well, I mean, obviously he's not supposed to be liked, but I felt like he was lazily written.
Even as an a-hole character, he wasn't a good character.
Yeah, like there was something missing.
What makes him lazy as a character? or like lazily written.
He didn't seem to have it's like, compared to everything else around him, where everybody else seems to have some amount of reasonability, like real people. It almost felt like he was like, he's the kind of person that thinks thoughts are things that happen in other people's heads. He doesn't think thoughts. He just does things, reacts to the world.
You've never met people like that in real life? You've never met like shells of people?
I have seen them. I have not met them. No. I've heard of them, potentially.
You see that guy over there? No thoughts. Watch what he does. He does this every morning. Like clockwork. Just like some sort of Neanderthal. Just you.
NPC.
So that was going to be my question, what Jonathan brought up. I was going to phrase it differently. So is he a poorly written character, or is he written purposefully to be this foolish and this inept?
Well, no, he's definitely written to be that inept. I guess I hadn't thought that maybe he was really just going for somebody with no internal experience.
Yeah, so that's how I read it. Maybe there's something in the writing that didn't jump out at you, and it's not to say that it jumped out at me, because I read it pretty literalistically, as in this guy is just a raging fool who is going after revenge to the point where he doesn't see that he's outmatched. Miera, however you say her name, calls him an idiot. He tries to attack Miera and gets obliterated pretty much. And what I just said about Lyndon just a few seconds ago, despite Lyndon's increasing power, he's like, nope, I'm still going to kill this guy no matter what. So maybe from your perspective as a reader, you felt there needed to be more fleshing out of his foolishness or his NPC-ness, if you will.
So actually, the more I'm thinking about it, because there are lots of characters that I have seen that act that way in the other novels. And I think the difference between them and Daiji is less about their intelligence or their non-foolishness, and more the other aspects of their character design that make it feel somewhat different. It's hard to explain. That basically he's a prince, and so he should act like a prince, and yet he acts like a child.
Well, I think we see that though.
How do you think princes act when they're spoiled rotten?
No, but he's too like tantrum and not enough haughty. That there should be more of a I am the greatest of everything. I'm the prince. I'm whatever. And you are nothing. And it's a little too direct, a little too toddler.
I think that's what I was getting at with my question, and I think you answered it. That's what was missing for you, in my view.
Yeah.
JT, he could have been blinded by revenge, but he could have acted more nobly. Not nobly, haughty, I think is a better term, but he could have acted more as a noble would, still in the background doing everything possible to the point of, foolish actions, and maybe not thinking through his actions to get revenge on Lyndon, but the facade would have been, I am a royal prince, and I am here to kill the guy who killed my brother. Did I pick up what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, I think that would describe some of my feelings to that. Okay, does anybody else have another point before we wind this down? Spencer's chomping at the bit to say something.
Did you guys cover all of your hot takes and your questions that we were bringing to the table?
I mean, the only question that I had really left was who else saw Ethan's deal cutting with Reagan Shen coming? Because that was a bit out of nowhere for me. I was like, he hates this guy. Why is he actually listening to the deal?
I don't think there was any foreshadowing or like preemptive notice. Even my first read through,
it was just out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I'll take that deal. I'm like, what the heck? What are you doing?
Yeah, it was a little surprising to me, but also Eithan is definitely a schemer, so like it doesn't surprise me that he did that. It was like, is that the difference between like shock and surprise, maybe, where it was like, I'm surprised that I didn't see that coming, or that he did that originally with was it Rhaegon Shen, but not like shocked that he would do that because he is a schemer and he's trying to get, and honestly, he's probably more the one playing Rhaegon Shen anyway, because he is such a schemer, and he's just trying to get the best advantage that he can for Lyndon and Yaren. Obviously, Lyndon's out of the fight at this point, but Eithan's like big picture minded. He's not just focused on, the here and now. He's like, how is this going to benefit me in the future? And if this benefits Lyndon or Yaren and Mercy in the future, then I'm going to take this deal now. Whereas Rhaegon Shen seems to be more focused on the here and now. Like, how can I benefit my student now in this uncrowned tournament? Whereas Eithan's like, oh yeah, it's just a crown tournament. Yeah, there's definitely a lot on the line, but also like I'm more focused on the future. So yeah, not completely just like shocked that he would take that deal.
Right.
I think the bigger thing that we're going to find out is, did that pan out for Eithan, or does it bite him?
Oh yeah,
and the team.
He did have to. What was it? He did have to notify Malice beforehand that he was taking the deal. Probably otherwise he was going to get absolutely obliterated the minute he stepped in the arena and failed twice.
And he owes her a favor now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that's going to turn out later. Or if he even does the favor, which would be even more ballsy.
It's like, oh yeah, I've ascended to Monarch now. Okay, I'm leaving for the Abaddon. Bye. You can totally do that. And he's like, all right, I'm giving up the responsibility on that favor. Goodbye. See you.
Yeah, she comes back as an Abaddon and goes, hey, that favor you owe me from 100 years ago, I'm cashing in.
I did not think you were going to leave.
Could be.
Awesome. Well, always a pleasure to have you guys on. Any final thoughts before we go? The next book is going to be a little while because we've got a stack of to-be-reads. Actually, it's not that far away. I'm looking at the calendar here. But it'll be coming up. I am excited to see and hear the responses regarding what unfolds in the world of Cradle. Have you guys read any of the next books yet?
I haven't. Obviously, Jeremy has. He's read through the entire thing, but...
Yep. So, cool. I'm excited. I can't wait. It'll be a good time.
Looking forward to it as well.
And, I'm pro costume, pro cosplay. So if you want to
listen, if you're not showing up in cosplay, I'm not bothering. This thing's very hot.
Look,
you know what? Mad respect to committing to wearing that the whole time.
You guys should just send Spenser a costume and then see if he wears it. I'll give you his address.
Listen, I've committed to the bit. I commit to the bit. The bit stays on.
I love it. Slava, on the other hand, is living in his mother's basement. We can't even see because it's so dark. So,
It is what it is.
Come out of the cave, Slava. Plato's Republic. Come out of the cave.
Gonna have to leave like food outside the door to lure him out.
Yeah, ramen. I'll do it for ramen.
That is the episode, I guess. Woof. Why don't you run us out, JT?
Well, fellow sacred artists, thank you for joining us on the SideQuest podcast, going over Wintersteel. If you have any comments, put them down below. I said it down below. And like and share us with your family and friends. Thank you for joining us.
See you next time.
Sacred artists assemble.
Oh, we're out.
I have a favor to ask you. If you like what we're doing, the simplest way to support the show is to hit subscribe. In return, we'll keep leveling up, we'll listen to your feedback, and read authors that you suggest. And of course, we'll take side quests along the way.